Hey, welcome back. Every Sunday in Houston's East End, a community gathers to celebrate a Latino culture through Lucha Libre. And the matches are put on every week by a wrestler known to fans as Black Star. That's just one of many wrestlers. Joining us this morning to share more is Camilo Hannibal Smith and Raquel Nataliquio. Good morning. Thank you guys for joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, so you guys worked together to put out an incredible article that was recently published in the Houston Chronicle. I did read it. You sent it to me. I was like, wow, this happened. Like, how did you find Lucha Libre?
So social media. So
Okay.
I had been following Lucha Libre for a while, and I wanted to see what it was like in Houston. So I started Googling and looking at Facebook, looking at Instagram, and you see these. You see these carteles, they say it in Spanish, but they're flyers. So you see these flyers, there's a very distinct kind of flyer for a Lucha Libre event. So that's how it all started for me.
Yeah.
And then starting to think about ways to capture this information and to record it. And then that's when Raquel came in, because her photography really captures community, and I felt this was a community story.
I love those pictures, Raquel.
Thank
They
you.
really capture the moment. Tell me about the experience of being there and taking these different pictures of the events.
It was particularly exciting because I had never been to a Lucha Libre fight ever, and so it was a very authentic, like, wow moment when I was there. But what I really loved about it is, yes, there is the theatrical element, but I loved that there was so much community and family and kids in the ring and kids, coming out for their mother or father who's a luchador or luchadora, and it was just, that was my favorite part.
Yes. Camilo, you also talked about in the article how a lot of choice words, a lot of different words that grandma or abuela will use to bring, to describe the event, and everybody's passionate about their favorite wrestler. Tell me about that experience.
Yeah, so the passion runs really high. A lot of these fans are decades-long Lucha Libre fans, and it's not for everybody. It is for everybody, but there is a lot of colorful language involved, and I think that goes across the board with any kind of wrestling. But it is something that, if you're not prepared, prepare yourself
for the experience. You said this is becoming a generational affair, really like deep into the culture, the Latino culture, the Houston culture. Talk about that.
Yeah, so a lot of the folks that I spoke to at this event, they were grandmothers bringing their daughters, who were then bringing the grandchild, and you saw this across the board. So a lot of the folks who are either are wrestlers themselves or the people who are fans weekly at this event, and even the guy who puts it on, it comes from the father, the mother, everyone kind of putting them into Lucha Libre culture.
Yeah. When you are there and experiencing it, what is the message, would you say, that they want others to know about the culture, about the experience? What was kind of painted in your pictures, Raquel?
I can't really speak to what I think they want us to know, but for me, what really came across was that family element, right? Of like keeping a culture alive through events like this, and especially for kids that maybe were born here and that didn't have access to things like that culturally, but keeping that alive here is really helpful, I think.
Yeah. Okay, and Camilo, we are running out of time, so I just want to ask you about the significance about this East End area where the matches are taking place.
Yeah, this is sort of one of the cradles of Mexican, Latino, Chicano culture in Houston. And so the fact that this goes on a weekly basis is really important. And it really does affect the local community. And the people come into that community. And they've been doing that for decades. A lot of famous people have come out of that scene.
Yeah. So if they're interested, we do have a graphic there every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
6 p.m. or 7 p.m. It'll, depending on the show, at Coliseo Houston. 7122 Avenue B. Check it out. All right, we've got a special treat for folks at home.
We're not
Owen
done,
is across the room to chat with us some
very
more.
special guests right here with us. Fuerza Divina is next to me, and La Spooky, two of our luchadores. Is that
luchadores.
right?
Luchadores.
Okay, but you guys do it a little differently, because I've just learned about Exotico. The Exotico Lucha Libre, or how do I characterize
Well, the Exoticos is kind of like the drag in wrestling. You know, we always like to come out with big feathers and big capes, makeup, give it that little spicy on the Lucha Libre.
Okay. And now you've got your mask on.
Yes,
What's
the
the
mask.
significance with the masks?
The mask, it hides my identity. Since I do have a little kid, I'd rather no one know who I am. So I I decided to wear the mask because growing up, I seen the wrestlers doing masks, and I was like, you know what? That's something I want to do.
Yeah.
It hides my identity.
Okay.
And so if you want to talk mess, you're not going to know you're talking to me without the mask.
So did you both grow up watching wrestling?
Yes.
Yes.
In what way or how? Like,
Well,
what wrestling group?
I grew up watching WCW, WWE, AAA, Consejo Mundial, and for me, the one that stand out the most were the exóticos, like Casandro, Pimpinela, Orquídea Negra. You have Miss Gaviota. You have all these big names, and I was like, that's gonna be me one day or another.
No kidding.
Because I used to do drag, so I'm like, why not incorporate drag in wrestling?
Into wrestling. And what about you, La Spooky,
Me-
growing up?
It was different. Like I always watch it with my dad. Like since he was like, when I would watch it, he would be like, oh, well, he would see this one and this one when he was in Mexico. And like, it was, I found it a way for me and my dad to get close.
No kidding.
And so we would always watch it. And then I went from boxing to this. I was like, it's always been something to
Right.
feel like adrenaline.
So, and how important, you mentioned, doing this with your father growing up, watching wrestling.
Yes.
How important is that, the family connection through the sport?
It's, ooh, man, my dad gets into it. Like from all my matches, like you could see him with my son, and like they get into it and they're like, oh, don't hit her too hard. Oh, she's hitting you hard. And like, to me, it's like, it brings happiness to me because I see my dad reliving his childhood, and then I see my son with him, and like they're creating bonds while I'm creating bonds with them.
What about you, Davina? What do you think?
Well, me, it was quite differently because my family comes from the circus. So we had all these acrobatic things growing up. So once we see all these wrestling luchadores inside of a circus, my grandfather used to be, this is going to be you sooner or later. And you're going to get in there and kick some butt.
That's awesome.
Oh my God.
How much of it is the sort of athletic wrestling and being strong versus the performing and the costumes? It seems well balanced, but what do you?
It depends. Like, well, for me personally, like I need to have good conditioning since I wear a mask. Like it's harder to breathe, and when it's hot, you sweat a lot.
Yeah.
So like for me, I gotta make sure conditioning is good and like making sure if anything messes up, like I'm on my toes, just making sure I know what to do.
And Exotico's a lot of the flair and the costume,
yeah.
but you're not just sitting there.
Exactly. It's not all about looking pretty. You
Right,
also have
right.
to work on costume, makeup, hair,
Yeah.
Oh,
feathers,
trying to remember
everything.
everything.
Yeah. You guys have a training regimen too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to. Well, listen, hey, if you guys can make it every Sunday, we said 6 or 7 o'clock. You guys gonna come say goodbye?
We are.
We just want to.
We want to say hello.
We never
and
have this many
goodbye.
people together at once, so we just wanted to bring everyone over. Thank you guys for coming in. Really appreciate it. And thanks to our
Thank you so
luchadores, dos luchadores, for coming by. Coliseo?
Coliseo?
Coliseo.
My wife's gonna kill me in my Spanish. She's been yelling at me in Spanish this whole time. I still don't know. It's 7122 Avenue B, Sunday evenings. Check it out. Go read the article, and thanks you guys so much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.